Hey guys, Kevin here with the Feely Group at EXP, and today we're going to shoot our monthly market update video. Spoiler alert, the market has gone crazy. Record low inventory has caused record high prices. But how long is this going to last? Stay tuned to find out. So as always, we're going to start out with the year-over-year numbers. So let's take a look at January 2022 versus January 2021. So looking at the average price of a home in January 2021, we saw the average price increase 19% from $544,000 to $647,000. We saw the sold units actually decrease by 4%. And we saw the sold to ask price increase and the days on market decrease. Next, let's take a look at the stats and see how the numbers change month by month in the last 13 months. So even though we saw the average home price increase by 19% over January last year, when we look at month by month, you can see that the numbers fluctuate quite a bit. I think this is very important for people to examine because a lot of times you hear in the media that home prices are up, but you see that they actually change a lot month to month, and what causes that is supply and demand. Last year when we saw the prices significantly increase, it's because we had such low supply. But when sellers start to see the numbers going up, they rush to the market increasing the supply, which then in the summer we had an increase in supply. We saw numbers go down because demand wasn't as high. But now we're reaching record low inventory again, and that's when we're seeing the prices skyrocket. When looking at these numbers though, there's another thing that we need to consider is the actual amount of homes sold. So taking a look at this graphic, you'll see that even though the home prices have jumped significantly, you'll see the amount of sales happening is much lower than other months of the year. The buyers have such a small pool of homes to fight over that we're seeing the bidding wars in full effect and the prices increase. This can be seen with the average sold to ask price. So like when last year, when we saw the prices increase, we saw the average sold to ask price increase dramatically. And then when prices were decreasing, we saw that decrease. You can see last month, the average sold to ask ratio went up by about 5%. With the average home price being $626,000, 108% of asking price is about $50,000 over asking on average. All right, now let's take a look at some different neighborhoods. I know last year we pulled up the Longfields neighborhood and especially townhouses as the prices were significantly decreasing. Now let's take a look at what's happening in that neighborhood today. As you can see from this graph, while we saw the average home price decrease by about $100,000 from March until June, we've seen it completely rebound plus some as the average home price is now at a record high of $673,000. Next, we can take a look at Orleans, which saw a similar trend. While the average home price in Orleans last year in January was $576,000, it peaked at $645,000 in May, declining all the way down to $569,000 in October, and now it's back up to $650,000. Overall, as you can see, the real estate market is very fast moving and can often be hard to predict. We saw a lot of people who bought last year in March thinking, oh no, maybe I overpaid. And alternatively, we see a lot of buyers who were shopping in the last few months thinking the prices were going to continue to go down, and now they've been significantly outpriced to the market. And for those of you who think that it's just the pandemic that's been causing this volatility, let's take a look at the average home prices in Ottawa since 2005. As you can see, the average home price has increased by almost 180% since 2005. But if you look at year over year, you're always going to see the high peaks followed by the low valleys, only to be followed by even higher peaks. So when people are wondering when is the best time to buy real estate, you can see that obviously there is better times than others when we go through the months and the year. But overall, if your plan is to stay in that home, you're always going to win over time. The only issue is that if you buy a home needing to sell is when markets can change and when you can be at a disadvantage. And of course, for those of you who are looking for a great deal, how to predict when the market is changing, you got to take a look at the amount of homes for sale. If you're seeing very few homes for sale like right now, you can bet that the prices are going to be increasing. But if you start to see more and more and more homes for sale, you can expect that the prices might calm down a bit. Obviously, going into the spring market, we are going to see much more homes come to market, but it's also when we see much more buyers come out looking. But until we see a significant difference between the amount of inventory available and the amount of buyer demand in the market, we're going to continue to see these prices increase. So if you're a homeowner who's been thinking about selling sometime in the near future, wondering when is the right time, we know that inventory is at an all-time low right now and listings will be coming to the market, so you might want to think about listing sooner rather than later. Of course, if you have any questions at all, you can always give me a call or send me a message. We can always give you a free home evaluation, no strings attached. And for everyone else, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next week.